Thank you, Freddie, and it's so nice to be here today and have such a wonderful group of people together. You know, in I think it was 75, I came to Antwerp as a young man, and I learned to cleave diamonds right here in this city, and it was my first exposure to the diamond industry. And I want to recognize the very important role that Antwerp has played in the creation of the international diamond markets. Antwerp was, and to some degree still is, the primary place in the world where people go to learn, not just students, I'm talking about the trade, to create a market for diamonds, to create liquidity, to create transparency, to create an understanding of how diamonds work and service the international markets. And so I am very hopeful that Antwerp, in the next 90 years, I don't think I'll be here to talk, but in the next 90 years, I am very hopeful that Antwerp will be able to continue to play an important and central role in the growing and development of the diamond industry. But in order to do this, we're going to have to be very honest about the changes that are taking place. We cannot be in denial that the past will bring us to the future. We're going to have to change tremendously, and not just in what we do, but how we think, how we see the world around us, how we see ourselves, and how we see, of course, the diamond industry. So let me begin first by first, congratulations. You know, I finished these courses at Harvard, and they say that of the companies that are around more than 40 years, only 0.5% of companies exist after 40 years. And that's including the companies that were in the Dow Jones Index. Well, we're here at 90 years, and that's something that we should congratulate, we should celebrate, we should know. I want to thank Freddie, who's always been a friend and a bit of a nudge, trying to get me to come all the time. Michel Schoenfeld has a special relationship because when I was here cleaving, I was cleaving at his back. Mucky and Michel taught me how to cleave, and I didn't have as many spiegels as I should have had, but I did break a bunch of diamonds, so that's really what... some people say, ich bin noch a Zerbrecher, but whatever it is, Michel and Mucky, thank you. I also want to mention Feivel Doppelt, who was my mentor, a great man, a brilliant diamantaire, and someone whose heart was just amazingly overflowing. Leah is here, who also has been nudging me to come, and thank you, Leah, and the staff, the board of directors, and Chantal and Tina, I believe it's Tina, is that correct? Thank you very much, and all the people, the team there, thank you all very much for all of your good work. So now, a bit of an agenda. We're going to talk about me for 2 or 3 slides, what we do, the past. It's going to show up in here, not necessarily in this order. The present, where are we today? But most importantly, we're going to talk about the future. It's a hell of a job to think about where will we be in 90 years and the process. What can we say? It's tough. And then maybe we'll talk about the big issues a little bit. So first of all, about Rapaport, the reason that we've been successful is that God has been very kind to us, but we have values, and what really makes our company focus and gives us the ability to survive in a world of tremendous disruption are our values: ethical, transparent, competitive, efficient markets. It sounds like it's just a bunch of words, but the truth is we really live by this. And even in our own company, if one of my employees screws up, or if I screw up, we're transparent. We say, hey, you screwed up. So it's a whole philosophy of life. We're established in '78, and 230 employees, 9 offices, 20,000 clients. We're really in the added value business. We don't have any inventory. I'm not smart enough to own diamonds. This I leave to you guys, okay? But we're in the added value service business, information services, RapNet, the platform, which is $7.5 billion of diamonds listed every day. We spend about $5 million a year just on IT, to give you an idea of the scale. We are the largest recycler of diamonds in the world, about 500,000 carats. And we work with the GIA in India and Israel, and we used to Belgium, but now they do their own place, and they're a great organization. Now, the social responsibility stuff, I had a whole discussion once with the head of Cartier, and that Cartier was recently, but say, Tiffany, can we be altruistic in business? Can we spend some of our time doing things that don't make money? And obviously, people like Freddie or the board of directors here, they spend time on the organization of this course, and they don't get paid. So there is an altruistic idea of what you want to do with your life. And we believe, and I think you'll hear me maybe in Vegas more than here say it, you need to transcend the product to the people. The diamond industry isn't so much about the diamonds. It's about the people, or as Stephen Lucier likes to say, the idea behind the diamond. A young woman is jumping up and down. She got a diamond, wow. But it's not that she got the diamond, it's she got a man. She has someone who's promised to take care of her and to love her and to be with her. So we should always be thinking of the people, not just the product. And therefore I say that the diamond industry, we should get to know the diggers in Sierra Leone or other places. We should visit Surat, and you'll see I'll invite you all. We have these trade missions. Our industry should come closer together with each other because all of us are part of the same family. And the more we know about each other and the more we interact with each other, the better we will be and the better our business will be. We have a trip to Surat on the 5th to the 10th. You can go to, I guess, Rapaport.com or something. But come, visit, hang out with the diggers. Not the diggers in Surat, it's the diamond cutters. And we have stuff we're doing in Sierra Leone, and we're doing trade missions. You're all invited, and we do some things with social responsibility that we think people should also do and get involved with. Okay, so 90 years, it's a long time. And the culture, I go to Harvard to talk to them and say, the most important thing about a business is the culture. How are people thinking about each other? What are people doing? How are they interacting? And the culture is so important for us. And I'll talk about it as I do these slides today, because in 90 years, just imagine what the culture of the world will be like. I grew up before there was an internet. Fax machines were new and exciting. Could you imagine today how technology has changed how we interact? People talk about millennials, and I talk about Tinderites, because the whole relationship that people have with each other is fundamentally shifting and changing. And so we need to think about culture, and where will the world be in 90 years? It's hard to say. But 3 generations, think about how 3 generations culture changes. And think about when we went from the baby boomers to the millennials to Generation Z, which is the young people today, who are rebelling against the millennials the way the millennials are rebelling against the baby boomers. Youth power. Youth power. Do you know that 60% of Africans are under the age of 25? And they are the fastest growing demographic in the world. By 2100, they will grow 243%. Europe will decline 15% in population. So think about the energy coming from all these young people. I grew up in the 60s, and it was amazing because there was new technology. One technology that changed relationships a lot was the birth control pill. And you think, who cares? But wow, it really changed how people related. But it's not just that. I'm just trying to say, we're going to have this conversation today about change and the nice 90 years from now. I'm just trying to lay the ground for you quickly. So we must understand change. We have to understand that change is innovative. It's new, it's different. We have to understand that it relates to the past and the present because of how we perceive it, how we understand it. But it isn't part of the past. It isn't even part of the present. It's something completely new, different. But we don't know how to eat it. We don't know how to understand it. So we refer it to where we are today. Change is consistent. The only thing consistent in the world is change. The only thing I can guarantee you, without a question, is the kinds of things that are going to happen in the future are going to be different, and they will change. If you have a good business today, I guarantee you in 20 years, you'll have to change, you'll be out of business. Change is consistent, it's exponential. Alvin Toffler, talking in the 70s, said that if change happens, the next level of change will be much greater than the one previous. And it just keeps getting faster and faster and faster. If you think about the impact that the telephone had, or the telegraph, people were living in America, the price of wheat, all of a sudden Europe knew about it. And markets changed because of the telegraph, the air travel. That also changed things. And I don't want to go through the history of the world, but I just want to tell you it's changing faster and faster, and it's changing so fast that we can't keep track of it. You can't know how you're going to use what Facebook is old-fashioned already. There's so much happening and so much that it's killing us, we can't keep up. It's disruptive. Change kills the old. It's I don't know what has Amazon done. We've got the Amazonification of jewelry stores. We used to have little kiosks before they had supermarkets. The bottom line is that we're disrupting things. It's interactive. I change X, you change Y. Then all of a sudden B changes. And it's multidimensional. Now, I'm saying these big words. I'm making you guys crazy. I'm scaring you. I'm supposed to give a talk that people understand, and I'm throwing all these crazy ideas at you. Don't worry, we'll get past this. But let's just say we can't predict the future, but we can talk about a direction that we'll be moving in. We can understand some of the forces driving change. And that's basically where we're going to go today. We're going to look and say, well, what's going to happen to the diamond industry? And that's where we're going to start looking. First of all, some of the things are what's happening to the diamond industry. But what's happening outside the diamond industry that's going to impact the diamond industry? We tend to live in our little bubble, but this bubble is a ping-pong ball in the ocean with big storms, with 50-foot waves. And we're floating, we're moving, but we can't just look at what's happening in our understanding. We have to try to understand the world around us. So it's internal, external, etc. Now we'll talk about supply, mining versus recycling. We'll talk about demographics. See, demographics don't lie. A certain number of people are born, they give birth to another bunch of people, and you can pretty much predict what's going to happen. Not perfectly, but you have an idea of how many people there will be, how wealthy they will be, what their culture will be. There'll be changes. Okay, I don't know if anyone could predict 50 years ago China's one-child policy, or the impact of that policy where the country is and the elderly, there's no one to take care of them. And so people are saving money because they're not going to have money to retire, so they're not spending money, and this is one of the greatest economic threats to Chinese economic expansion. But I don't want to confuse you with that either. I just want to say we see trends, and demographics are important, technology is important, and if I'm going to conclude with some pretty harsh words about government and the relationship between government and technology and privacy. For the past 90 years, the diamond business trade has been controlled by mining companies. And I'm from a mining company. Oh, you're from a mining company. Oh, mining company, mining company. And that's how it's been. But it's going to change. 7 companies control over 80% of supply. For 90 years. Used to be just one company, and Russia came 2 companies. But the concentration has been there, and that's why we keep bowing down to the mining companies. But market power is shifting from supply to demand. I don't care about rough anymore. Who's buying? In 90 years, diamond mining companies will not have market power, maybe even in 10 years. They probably won't even exist. A little scary, right? You can't keep digging holes in the world. People are freaking out about global warming. Young people are pissed off because we alte kakkers, we old guys, we don't care about global warming. We're not going to be here. What was that young girl from Sweden or wherever it is talking at the United Nations? You're irresponsible. You're not going to take care of us. Well, I'm 67 years old. To hell with her. But I want to drive my car. I want to take my private jet. But she's our new customer. Now, you want to sell someone this hole in the ground? Be careful, because the world is going to change. Diamond mining will be very limited, no longer dominate the diamond trade. That's what I'm predicting. And I don't think I have to go out 90 years. I'm willing to say it in 20 years, maybe 10. Diamond mining is environmentally and socially unacceptable. It's just not acceptable. Fair trade artisanal sourcing will be very powerful. If I was a rough dealer, I'd go to Africa and do fair trade diamonds. I'd get all those people going to Brilliant Earth, to those websites, man. I'd make great products. I mean, what is Starbucks stupid? Why do you think they have fair trade coffee? Where are the fair trade diamonds? What about the artisanal diggers? I'm inviting you guys to come with me to Sierra Leone. We did it last year. We're going to go again, and we'll keep going until we get people to interact with the artisanal diggers and take them out of the extreme poverty. Polished will be linked to rough through source certification. Where did my diamond come from? That's not going to be a theoretical question. It's an imperative. Responsibly sourced diamonds and jewelry would be required. Come on, you think brands are buying diamonds in the open market today? Signet's price, and they're careful about it, but look at reputational risk. If you have a brand worth billions of dollars, and you get one stinker, not to mention swimming pool parties, your stock, I think their market cap is $890 million today. Tiffany, who will not buy diamonds in the open market, from any of you guys probably, but won't buy diamonds, they don't know where it came from. What are they now, $14, $15 billion offer now from LVMH? What's the market cap of Signet is $890 million or something, and the market cap here is, what is it, $14 billion now? And Signet's sales are larger than Tiffany's. The power of brand, social responsibility, don't ignore it. Rough supplies will be reduced and eventually eliminated from the open market because the brands are going to buy it. The distribution is going to be more direct. And the De Beers / Bain dream, maybe their nightmare, okay, of going direct from the mine to the consumer, it won't quite work that way, but they will try to misdirect as much rough as they can. But they're going to try to go all the way to the consumer. They probably will suffer unimaginable indigestion, not my problem. But recycled diamonds and gems, they got to understand something, right? You're talking about diamonds here, and you're talking about rough. How much rough is there? How much is in the ground? We've been selling, De Beers' latest report is about $24 billion a year of polished wholesale price diamonds. A little high, a little low. Let's say it's $25 billion and we'll take 10%, and let's say we've been doing it for 30 years. That's $7.5 trillion, I'm not talking billions, dollars of goods that are out there. I mean, the numbers are huge. Why go to Africa? Go to Miami. You see, diamonds are forever. Little old ladies are not. That means that those diamonds can be recycled. If someone wants to know, that's where the money is, everybody. I'll tell you a secret. You want to make money? Recycle jewelry, recycle diamonds. That's going to be the sexiest business in the diamond industry for the next 2 decades. That's what I'm doing. That's where I'm going. So, elderly consumers will sell, young consumers will buy. The U.S. will be self-sustaining and a net exporter of diamonds and estate jewelry. I'm talking as an American, by American flag. We don't need you. Our diamond industry doesn't need you. 47th Street, who has been totally screwed, will start dancing all by itself to its own music. That's what's going to happen. And I'm not talking about 90 years. I'm talking about 2 years, 5 years. All right, the diamond and jewelry should be more profitable. You know, we can make money on this jewelry that's coming back in. Some of it's Cartier, some of it's Tiffany, some of it is craftsmanship you can't even make today. And I've gotten motivated. No one's holding back my profits. No mining companies here. Free market supply. Mrs. Jones wants to sell because she wants to send her grandchild to college. She doesn't know what it's worth. She doesn't care what it's worth. She wants to send her grandchild to college. She wants a competitive bid, motivated sellers. They want to sell. There's enough supply for everyone. I'm talking about billions, let's say tens of millions of sellers selling hundreds of millions of dollars of jewelry every year. What? They'll all become jewelers. Well, you don't have to be a jeweler to buy this stuff, and a lot of this stuff you break out. Think about an engagement ring that's been on a woman's finger for 40 years. You think it needs to be repaired? You think it needs to be recut? Of course. All I'm saying to you is, I'm not exactly sure about everything, but there's opportunities. I don't know, if you really want to make a lot of money, maybe you have to understand jewelry like you understand rough. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I see, and how you want to adjust. How you want to dance to the music, that's up to you. Anyways, motivated sellers, enough supply. Old is the new. And millennials want unique pieces. They want something different. They want something fun. So I'm saying to you, I'm just trying to point out, where can you make money? Where's the industry going? Demographics will shape the future, no matter what I say. No matter what I do, no matter what you do, demographics, who's got money, where, is going to tell us what's going on, especially when we add culture to it. 2100, the global population will grow by 40% to 10.9 billion people. I thought it would be more, but okay. Africa, 227% growth to 4.3 billion people. That's like 40%. Africans. Europe is going down. 620. Global middle income, 7 people. That's funny. I didn't mean to say 7 people. I think it's 700, whatever. Ignore this. I guess we're talking about Bill Gates and a couple of his friends. But, you know, anyways, global income is going to grow by 24%. Higher and upper middle income will decline by 5%. So the super rich will get a little less rich. But a lot of the middle class people will grow and grow by 24%. Here's some numbers. Here's 2019. Total 7.7 billion, 10.8 billion, 40% growth. And you see where it's happening. 33% in North America, which is a pretty wealthy place. Africa, poor place, 227. More poor people, but the poor people are going to get more middle-class people. So there's going to be growth coming from the bottom up. Inexpensive jewelry? Yeah. Maybe some moderately middle-class jewelry. But look at China with those 30 pointers. You know, it died, now it came back up. I'm happy to say over the last 4 weeks, 30 pointers have been doing a lot better, in spite of the riots in Hong Kong, but in the actual China. So that's great. Get engaged, get a 30-pointer. I don't know what these guys are going to be buying in Africa, but they will be buying stuff. There will be prosperity. Now this is interesting because we don't just look at the number of people, we got to look at the cash. So you're looking at $13 billion. That's trillion probably. Yeah, this is in millions, 13 trillion, 410 million. And you go into $17 trillion. But it's interesting to see how it's broken down. See, upper middle income's coming down, middle income's going up, lower is going up, and low income. So there's going to be a lot of movement of poor people coming up the value chain. So I don't know if Signet and Zales is doing okay today or not, but eventually some kind of selling of inexpensive jewelry, maybe inexpensive diamond jewelry, maybe melee, is going to be fine. And we're even seeing it now with all the problems of synthetics. We are seeing the melee market has come up in the last, we do these auctions in Dubai, and we have good ways to really track the inexpensive. Now, I'm talking about Melly at $150, maybe $100, maybe $250. So, that stuff's coming back in spite of all the problems that we see. So when we look to the future, inexpensive jewelry, stuff like that, that's the trend. The population, like I said, 60% in Africa. Europe, 26%, a lot of older people here. China also, that's influencing Asia, but 52% older people. Not enough people coming in here to take care of these guys. Spells problems, economic problems, social problems, not enough young people. But Africa's going to march, Africans going to dance, okay? Look at the older guys, that's what you got to watch out. Now these guys who sell jewelry, by the way, these older guys, these Europeans. Wow, I'm telling Leah, get into the estate jewelry business here. I got 90% of Alta-Cockers over here. And there's not enough kids, and they're going to want to sell this stuff. So I would think about Europe as a very good source of good jewelry or recycling. And this is just to understand America, why I'm an American, and although I live all over the world, but we have offices, look at America to understand a little bit about this demographics, right? So 0 to 19, Generation Z is already 25%. Millennials, 27%. Okay. But look at these guys. 55 to 74, 74 million people. Over 75, 22.6. They're all going to be selling jewelry, baby. 97 million people. And we're going to have to take the jewelry from these guys and sell it to these guys. People talk about millennials, right? They think they know millennials. I got news for you. Every day, millennials are getting older. And the millennial women are experiencing tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. And they have to make a strategic decision. Am I going to have children? Some of the millennial women are already 34 or so. And that's scary because the millennials, who I tend to call Tinderites, when she decides that she wants to have children, she's going to have to make a strategic decision to kind of, I don't know how to say this nicely, sleep with the same guy. So she's going to have to find a way to have a relationship. And you know what happens when you have a monogamous relationship? You end up with jewelry because it's committed. So I'm a big believer that the millennials will buy this stuff. That's what you got to do. Just take it from here and put it there. Very simple, okay? But that's where the future is for the next 2 decades. Not even a question in my mind. Now I'm going to give you I'm going to take a 4-minute break, and I'm going to give you a little movie so you can get a little bit of the vibe about what's happening.
Once upon a time, business as usual was often good enough. No more. Where we are going, good enough is dead. In a world where everything is connected, where everything is equally excellent, where performance is reaching perfection, there's only one space left to innovate in: you. Right now, you are a central point in the raging tornado of change fueled by digitization, mobilization, augmentation, disintermediation, automation. Well, the list goes on. Science fiction is becoming science fact. Think about self-driving cars or computers that can learn and think. The way we work will never be the same. The skills we need will be dramatically different. Winning or losing are now happening faster than ever before. So what's your response? How will you discover new opportunities in one of the most transformational times in human history? Are you driving change, or are you being driven by it? Disruption has become the new normal. With change, it's always gradually, then suddenly, well, things really have stopped happening gradually. This change is exponential. Everything that used to be dumb and disconnected is now wired and intelligent. Cars, cities, ports, farms, even our bodies will be wired with sensors and will talk to each other. These game changers are also combinatorial. They amplify each other, creating a perfect storm of change. Quantum computing fuels big data. The Internet of Things fuels artificial intelligence and deep learning, which fuels robotics. However, anything that cannot be digitized or automated will become extremely valuable. Human-only traits such as creativity, imagination, intuition, emotion, and ethics will be even more important in the future, because machines are very good at simulating, but not at being. Yes, robots and software will do some of our work, but this will allow us to focus on things that cannot be automated. To imagine change squared, you've got to start engaging more with what might be, not just with what is. Immerse yourself in the immediate future, 5 to 7 years out from today. We need to go beyond technology and data to reach human insights and wisdom. Technology represents the how of change, but humans represent the why. The future is about holistic business model. The opportunity is to be liquid, to learn just in time, not just in case, not single improvements, but complete transformations, not individual systems, but new ecosystems. Humanity is where true and lasting value is created. We will engage, relate, and buy things because of the experiences they provide, because of their transformative power. The future doesn't just happen, the future gets happened. The new way to work is to embrace technology, but not to become it. The future is in technology, yet the bigger future lies in transcending it. Let's live and lead from here.
So what do we learn here? What do we learn? Everything he said is true, by the way. So is technology the solution? How do we transcend technology, GIA grading reports, Rapaport lists, RapNet, all the commoditization? How do we transcend that? How do we make money in a commoditized world that's moving so fast? How do we survive Amazon, if not Blue Nile? Where are we going to go? What are we going to do? Where's the source of our wealth or our capabilities? And the answer is it's in us. It's in our creativity. It's in our emotions. It's in understanding that the product we sell isn't diamonds. It's the relationship. It's the commitment. Think about it. For everyone, there's a different answer. What about you, personally? Where's your creativity? What do you enjoy doing with this industry? How can you add value? Those are the key questions you want to think about. And not add value by suffering, adding value by having fun because it's a cool world out there. Think about it. Now, in the future, demand will be more important than supply, because we are going to be seeing changing markets, changing issues of demand. So where does diamond demand come from? Why? Where? What happened in the 1920s and 1950s? What's the source of why do women want diamonds? Today, men also are. I'm not against gays, and I'm not against all this stuff. I didn't know there's women, there's men, and then there's 40 other flavors in between. But whatever it is, I'm not against any of it. And they all want to buy diamonds for one reason or another. But why do women, I like concentrating on women, although it's very scary, because you could say such bad things because you're a guy. But it's why do women want diamonds? What will drive diamonds into the future? Let's take a look a little bit at maybe the past. Sears Roebuck's company, 1923 catalog, showing diamonds, whole page of the stuff. All kinds, it's 2 pages even. And look, you think I invented the price list? Ha ha, here you go. First quality, second quality, 1 carat here, $463.75. That's with the ring, of course. And you can see the differential between second quality and first quality sizes. I could do a whole research report on this one. And here's something interesting. A car was only $364. It came in one color. And the diamond was $464. And the car was the coolest thing in the world. You know, talk about change. They asked Henry Ford. They said, what market research what did you ask the people about what they wanted? He said, that's ridiculous. I asked the people what they wanted. They said, faster horses. But he made a car. He didn't ask people what they wanted. I didn't ask anybody if I should do a price list, believe me. So sometimes you create things, it's not what people want, it's what people need. It's what people can use. Another thing about Ford said that, I want my employees to be able to afford to buy a car. I want to put a product out there that everybody can buy. I want to make it affordable. So he gave his employees raises, and he kept the price of his car low. And that's why his factory production model, which is a whole new way of production, succeeded. He thought about his customer. He was customer-centric, but he was not listening to his customer. There's a difference. So, where does this take us? Why do people want diamonds? Now, a lot of you have seen this clip. I'll play it again. Try, as beautiful as she is, to listen to the words.
Men grow cold as girls grow old, and we all lose our charms in the end. But square cut or pear shape, these rocks don't lose their shape. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Tiffany's, Cartier, Black Star, Ross Gore. Talk to me, Harry Winston, tell me all about it. There may come a time when a lass needs a lawyer, but diamonds are a girl's best friend. There may come a time when a hard-boiled employer thinks you're awful nice, but get that ice or else no dice. He's your guy when stocks are high, but beware when they start to descend.
All right, what's Marilyn saying? Let me back up a little. Now, we listen to the music. Very nice. She's beautiful. But what was she saying? What was her message? Anybody know? What? But why? What's she saying? Let's look at it. Men grow cold. Men go cold. The relationship with the woman as girls grow old. And we all lose our charms in the end. What? What'd you say?
Safety net.
Say what?
It's a safety net.
Diamonds are a safety net. That's one way to think of it. And then she says diamonds keep their shape. It's like saying diamonds are forever. They keep their shape, right? There may come a time when the lass needs a lawyer. Now, obviously, she's gotten old. She's lost her charms. The guy is cold. And now she needs a lawyer. Now, why would a beautiful young woman need a lawyer? The diamonds are a girl's best friend. When the poop hits the fan, diamonds are a girl's best friend. Marilyn is telling this, but no one's listening. We're all looking at the dancing. There may be a time when a hard-boiled employer, talk about the Me Too movement, thinks you're awful nice. But get that ice, or else no dice. I don't know exactly what the dice is here, but it's something. He's your guy when stocks are high, but beware when they start to descend. Diamonds, diamonds, I don't mean rhinestones. 1950, my friends, synthetic diamonds aren't around. She's talking about the real thing. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Think about what she's communicating. I wonder how much Harry Winston paid her for that little ad. But think of the creativity. But look how people are relating to diamonds in the 1950s as the ultimate source of something. It's embedded in the culture. So what she's telling us, and she's talking to those other girls. They're all around her, right? All the girls around her, she's talking to women. She's not just talking to men. Does her advice have context to the 21st century? Women are liberated. Women are earning more money than men. Women don't need men. But is there something about her message? Will women still want diamonds at 2100? What's going on? What do we learn here? I believe that diamonds represents a unique product that provides personal, financial, and emotional security. Someone is going to love her, take care of her kids, be with her, hopefully for the rest of her life, where the diamonds are forever as part of that emotional contract. So it's not just about the money, although money doesn't hurt. Women are very smart. You only get so much with flowers. But think about the emotional state of the union and the role that diamonds play in that. Now, is store of value important? Are mining companies making stupid mistakes by trying to sell pretty little things? Flashy, smashy? Diamonds are so much better than this little slash. You want splashy stuff? Go to Swarovski. You want real stuff? Go to Tiffany. Don't demean diamonds by turning into something little sparkly crap. Diamonds are really powerful. And I think we've been demeaning them in terms of how we're marketing some of this stuff. Is commitment important? Are diamonds as a gift of commitment important? These are the things we have to be thinking about as we talk about the next 90 years or the next 10 years or the next 20 years. This is the essence. Diamond demand, value, commitment. This is the whole shenanigan. This is the whole Torah of diamonds right here. The ability of natural diamonds to be valuable and retain value is the foundation of diamond demand. Marilyn knew this. I know it. And I think modern 21st century women and man knows this. The idea that a man is willing to make a serious financial commitment, thousands of dollars. I think the average ring now has gone to $7,000, the average engagement ring in the United States. And $7,000. It's certainly more than a pair of golf clubs. It's serious. It's important. To confirm a relationship, serious financial commitment, to confirm a relationship. I'm putting money down because I love you, baby. It's not just talk. It's not just one night or 1 month or 1 year stands. Gives the woman confidence that the commitment is serious and long term. Maybe guys don't understand this because you don't have babies. But if you did, you'd want to have a partner that's going to be around. And that's why I'm tying this millennial story to women deciding to have children. And maybe many women will say, I don't want to have children, and that's okay. But those that do want to have children, they want to know about serious long-term commitment. That's the currency of diamonds. Diamonds happens to reflect it, but this is the real beef right there. So diamonds are not just sparkly things, and I personally resent the people that think that, oh, just sell the sparkle. They are the required personal and public symbol. See, here's my engagement ring, she shows everybody. Public and personal of a committed relationship. Don't ever forget that, because that's what diamonds are really, 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 really about. The gift of a diamond engagement ring is a social contract. Her friends know, his friends know, her parents know, his parents know. That's it. You gotten in. You're not getting out so fast. Do we need commitments in modern man, modern woman, modern relationships? I say yes. The new world is not just Tinder relationships. The idea of a social contract at time of commitment, whether it's cows in Botswana, pearls in Japan, or jade in China, goes back a long time. It's a cultural requirement that transcends generations. The Bears didn't invent love or the idea that you have to give a cow to a woman in Botswana or a bunch of cows. That fundamental need was there. They rode, they surfed that wave. But this wave is beyond 20th century. 2100, yes, that's going to be there just like it was in 1800 and 1600. Now, it will be as relevant in 21 as it is today or as it was in the past. So you ask me, how can you predict what's going to happen in the year 2100? I can see. It's now in 1900, it's in 2000, it was in 1800, it was in 1600, and it's fundamental to the human condition. We want to have relationships. We want to transcend our interactions with each other. We want love. Modern woman, as she gets older, or modern man, they don't want to just have sex. They want to make love. Think about that. Understand that. Understand what that implies to the commitment in the relationship. Making love is very different. And it's a whole other world, and that is going to remain in the year 2100, in the year 2200. It is fundamental to the human condition. Now, providing and maintaining an honest and liquid dough, the market I'll talk about. So first we got this thing here. The challenge, I was going to tell people to turn off their phones, right? Look at me sitting here. Hopefully it'll go away. I'm not going to talk to anyone. It's got my tape recorder on it. I'm not perfect. Okay. The change for the dollar now. So this idea that there's a social contract is fundamental. We're making a deal here. Everybody knows. Everybody's a witness to this ring because I'm flashing it to everybody. It's a social contract. Maybe it's legal or not, it's a social. Now, the challenge for the diamond industry is to ensure that diamonds remain the symbolic gift of that commitment. Do you want to go back to cows in Botswana? Jade in China? Pearls in Japan? iPhones in Hollywood? I don't know. But where do you want to go? What is that thing that everybody knows and understands? This is it, baby. We now have a committed social contract. What is that thing? We're lucky. We inherited diamonds. Are we going to blow it? Are we going to screw it up? Providing and maintaining an honest and liquid diamond market that provides fair value to buyers and sellers of valuable diamonds is a fundamental requirement for the continuation of diamond demand into the next century. If we screw our customers, they're not going to be able to keep buying diamonds. We lose this tremendous gift that we have, that diamonds are positioned as the ultimate symbol of committed love. So what drives the business is committed love. We are the surfers who are getting a great ride on that wave, and we can fall off the surfboard or have it hit us in the head. Very dangerous. Now, the only thing we need to do is to be honest. Stop with the blood diamond crap. Stop thinking about money and start thinking about your customers. How you add value, how you make them happy. Love your customer. Forget about the diamond. Diamonds don't matter. The customer. What they need. What they want. How they feel. Create that kind of a bondage, a relationship, and you will be incredibly successful. That's where the big bucks is. But you gotta go beyond diamonds. Transcend the product to the customer. That is the best piece of advice I could give you. But I've told you the secret. I tell you why diamonds are moving here. Governments. What can I tell you? I may say some things some people don't like. Now, technology is creating a situation where governments are gaining the ability to monitor all activities by all people everywhere, face recognition. I mean, you think Facebook is screwing around. It must be a funny way they call it Facebook, because they look at your face and they know who you are. I mean, China's perfecting this. I don't think the United States or other governments aren't doing the same thing. You walk through an airport, they probably have 1 million images of you, whether you're in Miami Beach, Dubai, or Beijing. Our privacy is gone. Everybody knows everything about everybody. Now, monitoring is one thing, but you know how governments are. Today we monitor, tomorrow we control. Who are you? Why are you here? Who gave you permission for this or that? The ability to monitor is explained to the ability to control by governments. And this is especially true in relation to the flow of money. You're not going to be able to buy a Coca-Cola. What is it? What are they? WePro? What is it called? WeChat? Everybody's using WeChat. Then know exactly what you're doing everywhere. What you're spending, how much you're spending, who you're buying, what you're buying, how much Coca-Cola you're drinking. That's government, it's not just Facebook. But it's all the same. We are like lab specimens. And where the government's going with this. Governments are positioned to know how much money everyone has, where it is, and how it's being used. So first the technology shows up, not by governments. They wouldn't have thought about it. By Facebook and Google and Schmoogle and Google. You know, all these other guys are doing the work. And the big government is sitting there, I can use this, I can use this, I can use this. So, how are they going to use it? Governments will use their monitoring and control powers to implement taxes that will support the redistribution of wealth. You asked me to tell you what's going to happen in 90 years. Governments are going to go so far in your pocket, you'll need a proctologist. And what are they going to do with that power? They take your money. And they're going to give it to other people. Political power seekers in democracies will get votes by promising the public free entitlement programs to be paid for by the rich. This is going to be the century of the Robin Hoods. Or is it Robbing Hoods? I get confused. Decisions about how to allocate money will be taken away from those that earn it. There's a certain logic. If a guy's smart enough to make money, maybe he's smart enough to spend it. And therefore the economy will grow because he's going to invest it in things that creates jobs and new opportunities and all kinds of benefits to society. But there are people in government who say, no. You make the money, I'll spend it because I am more corrupt than you. So let's see what's going on. Decisions about allocate taken away from them and given to politicians who will use the money to fund government programs that get votes. It's a form of political prostitution. This is what's going to be happening in the years ahead. And here we have it. Uncle Bernie. Bitch Elizabeth, but whatever. Wealth tax socialists. They're not even ashamed. They come out and they say there'll never be billionaires. No one makes money by themselves. No, they're just getting votes. But they're not taking their $100 bills and throwing out of helicopters. They're simply becoming socialist communists. It's a new trend. And if you're getting votes in democracy, the number of votes count. So you can buy off all the poor and middle-class people by socking it to the wealthy people. Hey, it's good politics. Why not? What's going to stop them? Now, there's economic ramifications here that are absolutely horrendous. That would mean that this is the stupidest thing the people should vote for, and that's beyond the scope of this discussion. But consider that when people who have money spend it, if they made it, they can do good things. And governments are basically corrupt institutions. They are politically powerful prostitutes. That's what they are. So now these guys are going to come in and start dancing on our heads, of the wealthy, of our diamond customers. So wealth tax socialist wants government to tax wealth, not just earnings. And that's what the interesting thing about these two gangsters are. If I said to you, you made money, give me a percentage of it. It's not nice. I guess I can live with it. Now I'm saying, you made money, and I want a percentage of it. Okay. But now, after you've paid me the money, if you're a rich dude, I want 7% every year. I want to chop you down to size. Think about that. This is crazy. I'm not saying it's going to happen, and I hope that the Supreme Court throws it out, and I hope that other things happen here, but think about that for a little bit. That means there has to be a system that's going to figure out how much wealth everyone has so you can tax it. They're going to know what's in your bank account. They're going to know how much money you have because they're going to say, give me 7%, give me 5%, give me this percent of what you have. I'm okay. I mean, think about what that means in terms of government intervention and monitoring of people's wealth every year. I mean, communism's starting to look good. Communism says you can't get the money. Socialism says we're going to take it away from you. Now, think about what that means, okay? Empower governments so they can tax it, know what you have, and they're fermenting a form of class warfare. Because if you're rich, you're generally not stupid. And if you spend your life making money and you have to give it to Elizabeth and Bernie, that's the definition of being stupid. So what does that mean for the diamond business? Fortunately, diamonds are easy to hide, difficult to value, and easy to transport. They're the perfect answer to crazy Bernie. They're a perfect unofficial store of value in a world gone tax crazy. So maybe the best thing that could happen to the diamond industry is for Bernie and Elizabeth to bring in AOC and to start really screwing around with money. Maybe it's good for us because they will make diamonds a monetary, underground commodity as it once was. Because, you know, when I look at diamond demand, if I'm going to be really realistic and honest, I will say, I don't know, up to the 50s, maybe the 60s, people didn't trust the governments. They kept money in diamonds. They didn't declare it. They didn't pay taxes on it. And I don't know, should people trust governments with their money? I'm a big believer in transparency, and I support anti-money laundering and Patriot Act and OFAC regulations. But I'm starting to think that, can this get out of hand in the next 90 years, next 10 years? I'm sniffing. I'm starting to feel the movement. Because when you get votes, that's how you get votes. So why shouldn't you take money from the rich and give it to the middle class and other people if you're going to get votes? Why do I have to give them my money? I'll give them your money. And this is, I think, a trend which is establishing itself, not just in America. I don't have time to talk about trade wars and all that, but start thinking about how the role of money and how the role of taxes is changing. Now, when governments breach the social contract and engage in class warfare against the rich, these are strong words, class warfare against the rich. There should be no billionaires. Maybe next year, no millionaires. Diamonds will be monetized and traded in unofficial markets the way it used to be, which was pretty good for the diamond industry, frankly. One of the reasons diamond demand is down, or has become down, is because it's difficult to buy them because the money is so controlled by the governments and the banks. But I'm thinking, you know, this cycle, this pendulum swinging, I'm just thinking about it. The value of diamonds will be enhanced by the role as a private and personal reserve currency. Look what's happening with Bitcoin, which is an initial experiment with trying to get out from under, which I think is crazy. I mean, I wouldn't buy Bitcoins if you gave them to me. But diamonds, I don't know. And I'm not predicting, I'm not saying we shouldn't pay taxes. I'm not saying we shouldn't this. I am saying we should consider what the impact of an aggressive socialist government policy in a place like America will do to diamonds. That's my job. I'm telling you about the next 90 years, maybe the next 10 years. Because I smell it, I see it coming. Persecution of the wealthy class by politicians will increase uncertainty in an already problematic world featuring trade wars, currency wars, resource wars, commodity prices. We're heading into a scenario of not just uncertainty, but of conflict. China wants Africans' resources, but America wants those resources. Eventually, with all these people getting born and all this new I guess, technology, and 80% of the world's coltan, which is vital for cell phones, not to mention laser surgery, comes out of the Congo. One of the most troubled, war-driven places in this whole world. So you asked me about 90 years, I'm telling you, resource warfare, currency wars. We're not going to be in a simple, calm, we just kind of relax, everything's fine world here. We're heading into a little bit of a stormy weather internationally. So the role of diamonds and jewelry as the ultimate store of value in troubled times is not yet understood by the current generation. Whether they're millennials or they're Chinese. The Chinese are getting a smack at it because they're worried about what their parents are getting older and there's no health care and all this. But, they don't really understand what tough times really are. Diamonds as a store of value will play a role as the 21st century experience troubled times. I hope there won't be any troubled times. And I hope that any troubled times that we have come and they go fast. But let's be realistic. What do we expect over the next, how is the last 90 years? No wars, no trouble, no inflation, no stock market crashes, no concentration camps. I don't know what to predict the future from the past, but I can say to you that diamonds, there's something in them. And it's not just diamonds, it's diamonds and jewelry. I'm almost done, but I'm going to play a very short personal video that'll explain to you why I firmly believe diamonds, gems, and jewelry will be around forever, certainly to 2100, and maybe really digging a little bit too deep into some of the most problematic things in the world. So, short personal video evidencing the role of jewelry in highly, highly extreme circumstances. Takes a minute. It's worth it. It's only a minute. Can you guys make it happen? I'm just supposed to wait? Yeah. Watch this. Listen carefully. Loud.
Only thing I was able to hide and take with me, my mother's pearls. She had one string of real pearls she wore every day. Right. And I took it in my hand, and this is how I went to Auschwitz. When they opened the door, the Polish prisoners, the Jewish boys, were taking us off. I was terribly thirsty, and I said, Wasser, Wasser. And a boy went away and came back 2 minutes later with a bucket of water. Took the pearls, gave me drinks. That saved my life. You should know.
That happens to be my mother. So without that string of pearls, I wouldn't be here today. Everybody in her family was wiped out. And if she would have gotten off that train into the whole thing, and Mengele, who was standing there, would have gone this way instead of that way, I would not be here today. Pearls saved her life. A little string of pearls. If you're a billionaire or a millionaire, does it pay to have a few diamonds around? One never knows when the poop hits the fan. Do we need some kind of personal security in a world of government know-it-all and intervention? I don't know. I mean, I know that I would have some diamonds around. But if we go through to the next 2000 and 2100, things are not going to be the same as they are today. So we're in this evolution, devolution. We're not in a good space always. And so the role of diamonds and jewelry and pearls and the security, whether it's Marilyn Monroe talking to you or my mother, same message. Something of value that provides security is going to be around and necessary. And so we want to think about that, and you want to understand that, and you want to have confidence in that, because it is a fundamental truth of our industry. The future role of society is uncertain, but the idea that diamonds are a store of value is well established. We've won the battle. We now have to figure out how to, I say we won the war, figure out the battle, but we've won the battle. Diamonds are there. We just have to not screw it up. The role of diamonds as the ultimate form of wealth in troubled times will ensure their continued demand into the century ahead. That's what I believe. Personal experience. My own mother. It should be clear that the demand for diamonds is directly related to their ability to retain value. I'm not even talking about junk like synthetic diamonds, synthetic people, and synthetic relationships. I'm not here to talk about that. It's a perfect Tinder gift, okay? But if you really want to have a relationship, you know, I think people are making mistakes, people are chasing money, people thinking short term, but I don't want to talk about that crap. While sparkle is nice, diamonds are valuable because they retain value. Again, the ability of diamonds to retain value is in the hands of the diamond trade. You guys. It is the responsibility of the diamond trade to ensure liquid, fair markets for natural diamonds. That's the bottom line. If we can't make a market, if we can't give the little old lady in Miami who wants to send her grandchild to college a fair price for her jewelry, we suck. We don't deserve diamonds. And I'm talking about the industry as a whole, not just the crink and not just rough diamonds. I'm talking about our philosophy as we move into this next, we move along in this current set. We're almost 1/5 done with this century. Gosh, I'm getting old. But in any case, there you have it. Think about the customer, not the product. Understand why people buy diamonds. Listen to Marilyn Monroe again. Listen to the words. Understand the true value of what we are presenting society in terms of financial and emotional security. And this tremendous gift that we have given the world, or that we have, which is the ultimate symbol of committed love. Understand those things, but make sure that we can create a fair market for all of the people that have diamonds. Thank you very much.